everyone, welcome to CS Lectalks. Today we will discuss about process synchronization in operating system. So, what is process synchronization? Process synchronization is a mechanism. So, when multiple processes are trying to execute concurrently and they try to share resources, at that time we need process synchronization. That means in a particular, we take a particular situation. So P1 is a process and P2 is a process. So at a same time, P1 and P2 both are trying to execute. That means they are trying to execute concurrently or parallelly. At the same time, there is only one resource. Only one resource is present. I am indicating the resource by R. So now there is a single resource is present. Now P1 and P2 try to execute concurrently. So this resource is a shared resource. This resource is a shared resource among these two processes. So for that reason, there will be a conflicting situation. So to resolve this conflicting situation, we can adopt process synchronization mechanism to solve such type of conflicting situation. Now, what is the need of synchronization? So there are two needs of synchronization when multiple processes execute concurrently or parallelly and sharing some system resources. At that time, we need process synchronization. And the second need is to avoid inconsistency of result. Inconsistency of result. These are the two needs of process synchronization, or why we go for process synchronization, then these are the two needs. Now consider an example. Here in this example, there are two processes. P1 is a process and P2 is a process. P1 process has some lines of code and P2 process has also some lines of code. And as we have discussed, P1 and P2 both are trying to execute concurrently or parallelly by using some common variables, and those common variables are known as shared resources. Okay, so B is a variable whose initial value is fixed at 2. Now there are, for P1, for the process P1, there are two lines or two codes, line of codes. So this is, I am numbering here, this is 1 and this is 2. And here also, this is line number 1, code number 1, and this is code number 2 for process P2. Okay, now P1 and P2 are trying to execute concurrently or parallelly. Then what are the, or what will be the output? So for order 1, there is a sequence, particular sequence. Okay, it is a particular sequence and we consider this particular sequence as case 1. That means first P1 execute, or first line of the P1 process is executing. Secondly, line 2 of P1 process is executing. After that, line 1 of P2 process is executing, and after that, line 2 of P2 process is executing. Now, here, so we have set B value, initialize B value with 2. Now, my code 1, this is P1, this is P, and this is P2. Okay. This is P1 and this is P2. Now, for P1 and P2, my first code for P1, C equal to B minus 1. Then second line is B equal to 2 into C. For P2, line 1 is D equal to 2 into B, and line 2 is B equal to D minus 1. That means C value by executing P1 and P2 concurrently, and we are following this order. We are following this certain or particular order. Then C value will be, how much C value will be? So why C value? Because the first line of P1, that is this line. Okay. So C value will be updated by B minus 1, that means 2 minus 1, that is 1. Then after that, second line of P1, that means B value. B value will be updated by 2 into C, that means 2. D value, after that, first line of the P2 process, that means D value. D value will be 2 into D, that means 4. D value is 2, 2 into 2 is 4. After that, second value of P2 or second line of P2, that means D value will be D minus 1, that is 3. So finally, my V value is 3. After that, case 2, consider the case 2. Now, look at here, the order of execution is changed here. Okay, it is totally different from case 2. Now, as per the case 2, we are going to follow this order. That means P2, first line of P2, then second line of P2, after that first line of P1, then second line of P1. That means now this is for case 1. This is my result for case 1, final result. Now for case 2. So P2, first line of P2, that means D value. D value will be 2 into B. That means 2 value is initialized with 2. That means 2 into 2, that is 4. Okay, after that, second line of P2, that is B. And B value is D minus 1. That is 4 minus 1 is 3. P1. So execute now process 1. First line of process 1, that is C equal to B minus 1. That is 2. And second line of P1, that is B equal to 2 into C, that is 4. So my final result will be B equal to 4. Now for the third case, we consider the third case. So in third case, look at here, the order of the third case. The order of the third case is different from the order of the second case. Okay, so here first we execute the first line of P1, after that execute the first line of P2, after that we are executing for second line of P2, after that second line of P1. So first line of P1. So C equal to B minus 1. So initially B value is 2. So B minus 1, that is 1. Then P2, first line of P2. that is D. D value will be 2 into B. 2 into B means that is 4. Now P2, second line of P2. Second line of P2 means D value. D minus 1, that is D value is 4. 4 minus 1, that is 3. Okay, P1 second line. So P1 second line, B value will be 2 into C, that is 2. Okay, so my final result will be B equal to 2. After that, we go for fourth case. Okay, we go for fourth case. So here also a different order is here. So as per the, or by executing, or as per this order, my final value of B will be updated as 3. Now consider the case 5. As per this order, as per this sequence of execution, my final value of B will be 3. And as per the case 6, in case 6, we are following this particular order of execution. And after completion of the execution, my value, final value of B will be 2. So here, after completion of these 6 cases, I am getting the different values of B. That means where B may be 2, B may be 3, or B may be 4. Okay, so this is the 3 different values I got from these 6 cases. So this is the conflict situation. That means by changing the sequence of execution, I get 3 different values of B. So this is called inconsistency. This is called inconsistency in the final result. Okay, why this inconsistency? This inconsistency is arising. This inconsistency in the final result is arising because multiple processes are trying to execute concurrently, and the output depends upon the sequence of execution. Okay, so if such type of scenario will be arise, then we should adopt, or we should follow process synchronization mechanism to resolve or to sort out our problem. Okay, so this type of inconsistency result is known as race condition. Okay, so what is race condition? So race condition situation is the final output produced depend on the execution order instruction of different processes. That means the final output, here our final output is B. So the value of B depends upon the order of execution of the instruction. Okay, so and next is several processes compete with each other. So here in this particular case, there are 2 processes which are competing with each other. Okay, so for this 2 condition, a inconsistent result is arising, and such type of condition is known as race condition. So if you are like my video, then share it, subscribe it, and like it. Thank you everyone.